All right, welcome to our admitted African American student experience. We're happy to be here with you today. My name is Leo Sun. I'm the coordinator of retention initiatives and summer programs. It's a long title, but it's something I really enjoy doing here at our campus. I run a couple of our summer programs, which include some of our transition academies for African American students or first year students here. And I run a couple of retention initiatives, such as some mentoring programs that we have. We have our student of color mentoring program that we have here. We have our peer mentor ambassador program. But a lot of programs that we try and cater towards students of color to really help them here on our campus. And I'll be kind of emceeing / hosting this whole session here today, but it's not about me. It's about the students that we have here today. So we'll go ahead and have you introduce yourself real quickly. We'll start with Maya, since I see you're unmuted right now.
Hi, I'm Maya Rain. I'm a fourth year here at CSUCI. My major is English with a creative writing emphasis. I work in the ROI AVP office with Taylor, and I also work with Leo for the computer lab, and I'm part of the Women of Color Peer Mentor Program.
Cool, thank you.
Hi, my name is Taylor Duncan. I am a third year at Channel Islands. I am a liberal studies major, and I'm originally from the Bay Area. I work alongside Maya, and we are part of the AVP ROI team, so yes.
Hello, my name is Rachel. I'm a biology major who's graduating this spring. I'm from Ventura County, thank you. And yeah, what was it? I don't know, I guess I work as a lab technician with the biology department, so that's a little bit about me.
Sure. Well, thank you for sharing. And so as this is our fourth session, today's Thursday, April 16th, this is our fourth session here today. And we have a couple other recordings, so hopefully you'll be able to have a chance to check those out. On Tuesday, the 14th, these three lovely students that we have were able to join us as well. And they talked a little bit more about what their experience was like coming into CI. Some of the topics that we talked about, that they discussed was such as why they chose CI or what made them interested in choosing CI for their college. A little bit more about their major and why they chose that major, some of the experiences that they had as a student of color, as an African-American student here, and the programs that they were involved in. We also talked about some of the concerns that they had going into college and the transition. And we also lastly talked about, the area of Camarillo. Where is it? Is it actually on the Channel Islands? How much does it cost to fly there? No, you do not have to fly here. You can drive here. We're on the mainland of California. But yeah, we talked a little bit about our local, community and area as well. So please feel free to check out those other recordings that we have. And so we'll go ahead and kick off this session here today with just a very simple question about what your favorite memory or experience has been so far at CI. So whoever would like to go first, please go ahead.
I can go ahead if you want. My favorite memory at CI would probably be the events that we have. So we have Dolphinpalooza, which is kind of like a carnival type of vibe event that we have on campus. And we also had block parties. Block parties were like a school dance type of thing. And I think that's that my freshman year was where we had it the most consistently. And it was just a time where people from around the area or commuters could come and it was like a dance. So I love music and social gatherings such. So the fact that it was a school event, I also met a lot of people too. So every time we had a block party, that's like CI Unite type of situation. So I loved that. So I think that those are my best memories is, at those block parties.
Cool. Thank you. Yeah, we have so many events on campus, and sometimes we collaborate. Whether it's with housing and with student government, different groups that'll come and host or really highlight their area or their resources. So yeah, those are definitely for sure a lot of the programs that we have. Thank you for sharing, Taylor. Maya, what were some of your favorite memories? I know that you probably have so many to choose from. What is maybe one that kind of stands out or one of those favorite memories?
I would have to agree with Taylor with the events. I love the events. I wish I got more involved my freshman and sophomore year with the events. I know I definitely went to the block parties, and those were super fun because you can meet new people. But recently, last month, they had a night market, and I think that was the first ever night market that we had.
It was.
And they had different vendors from LA County and Ventura County as well. And it was like super nice. I went with my mentee. Her name is Charlene. And we both had a really great time. We got free henna. We seen the African drummers perform. And it was just really nice. Like they had 2 different food trucks. One was Greek, and I think one had Mexican food. And it was just really nice because it also touched on different cultures, but it was also like fun as well. So that was one of my favorite memories as well.
For sure. Yeah. I checked out that night market as well too. Cause I was like, all right, what's this all about? Cause like, you know, I was born in Taiwan. I'm an immigrant here. And so being an immigrant, you know, I've seen what, you know, night markets are like in Asia. And so I'm like, all right, let me see, you know, what they got here. And I was like pleasantly surprised. They had quite a few different vendors out here and some cool food options. And I think that's something else that maybe gets undersold sometimes, is that people assume that, you know, since we're a smaller campus community, we have about 7,000 students, which is on the smaller side, that, you know, maybe we don't have as like, you know, rocking of events, or we don't have a lot of, you know, things going on. But even though that we're a smaller size, I think what people have found is that it's a lot more intimate at the events, you know, whether it's at, you know, the dances, and at the dances, I've seen the block parties before. It's like, I mean, there's like a good amount of people that are there in block parties. So it's not like it's like 10 people at a dance together, you know, we're like a solid, like, you know, Taylor, how many people would you say were at the block parties usually that you've gone to before?
Like over 100, like close to like 2, like, and if it was like a big one, like my freshman year, there would be like 200, 300 people. Like it's like a really good amount, like in regards to us being a around 7,000 student body, like it was a good portion of our student body that would go to the block parties and such. So
yeah, for sure. And I think it's not always about like necessarily the quantity, you know, of people there. It's just about like, you know, the time that you experience you actually have and such. So that's what I think is really cool about this campus, that, you know, we do have a vibrant like student body life. And hello, Cortland. Thanks for joining us today. Cortland is also one of our student assistants. Real quick, right now, we're just going around and talking about our favorite memory or experience so far at CI. But if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself real quick, and then tell us your favorite memory, and then we'll have Rachel go as well after you.
Okay, so hello, my name's Cortland. I'm a first-year student, and my major is political science. And let's see, my favorite thing this year, since I haven't really been able to experience much. I don't know. I feel like it's just the events that they throw on. There's always something new going on, and I feel like there's something always catered towards me that I can find and like enjoy there.
For sure. And what are like some of the events maybe that you've gone to, or one that kind of stands out? I know I've seen you at a lot of events, obviously I have, but which ones have you gone to that you were like, oh, that one was kind of cool? We talked about the block parties and we talked about the night market. And I know I've seen you at the night market before.
Oh, the night market was a ton of fun. But and also I think something that I found was the I wanted to say event fair, but it's oh my goodness, the
career fair.
There you go, that one. And then also the where they have all the why can't I
The involvement
club
yeah,
and
there we go, all the clubs and stuff. There we go. That's, I couldn't think of it. All the clubs and stuff, like that's really, because that's how I found BSU, and that's Black
cool.
Student Union.
So what exactly is a club fair for those that maybe have never experienced one before?
So it's where all the clubs and different things just come out, and they all have tables, and you can walk down and you can meet people from them, and it's a lot of fun. And I enjoy, you know, meeting new people, and so that's why I think I found that so much fun.
That's cool. Yeah, no, for sure. And we have them, I believe, once a semester at least, and there are a couple
Yes.
times, I think for like 2 weeks, I have them like 2 times a week or something like that.
Yes.
But yeah, they're really cool. And I'll come back to you and circle back around about BSU in a second. But I want to give Rachel a chance to talk about her as a graduating student here soon, you know, her favorite memories, since she has on the opposite end of the spectrum as you. You're just coming in and she's about to go out.
Okay.
So yeah, the involvement fair is definitely one of my favorite memories, just because like as someone who's a well-seasoned CI student, I've been able to like come across like, you know, incoming freshmen or like transfer students, introduce them to like clubs, and even sometimes try to link them up with what their own interests are. So if they come over to my booth just to kind of see what's going on, sometimes it may not be for them, but I love being able to kind of talk with them and be like, oh, well, you know, this is an environmental, you know, science activist sort of club. Why don't you try that? Or why don't you go, I don't know, find, I guess, the physician club on campus if that's something that you're interested in. But my all-time favorite memory is actually being able to attend like the culturally centered graduation ceremonies. So there's a Black graduation ceremony that takes place every spring. And then there's also one that's geared towards the Chicano community, and just being able to like see everyone bring their families, and like the professors who also recognize the importance behind having culturally centered graduations is a huge thing, especially for like students who are currently there. You can go and kind of see which faculty that you may have had or are going to have that also recognize the importance behind increasing graduation rates within minority populations. So those are really, really impactful graduation ceremonies, and I'm biased, but those are the graduation ceremonies I prefer going to instead of the big major one that CI has, just because it's more intimate. And like I said, it's a huge celebration, like your community, even people you never met before, just rooting for you when you go up there and, you know, get your gear and all of that. So those are the two main ones that I'm really fond of. So
yeah, that's super cool. No, thank you for sharing that. I think that's, you know, sometimes when we come in, you know, we're so nervous about what it's like, the transition coming in, and, you know, you have to remember what happens at the end of it, right? The light at the end of the tunnel and all the people that are rooting you on, pushing you on, whether it's, you know, people in your own culture and your community. And I'm really excited about that CI as well, too, as a growing community. I mean, this is why we're doing these sessions, and we're trying to bring, you know, more students of color onto our campus, because again, it's really important to uplift those that maybe, you know, didn't have the same privileges coming in that, you know, other students did. And so again, that's something that I like at CI, is I'm really focusing on trying to diversify our student population, and not only diversify to get them in, but how do we support them once we're in here as well too. So thank you, Rachel, for sharing that. And Courtland, I kind of want to circle back to something that you had said earlier. So I know you had talked about that, you know, you found out, or, you know, got to talk to some members of our Black Student Union there. Tell us a little bit about, you know, BSU, just in terms of, you know, your experiences there, some of the people you met, how you felt like it has impacted you so far.
So for me, BSU was kind of, well, just Black Student Union is a place for Black students, and we accept other, you know, people of color and all sorts. We're a really inclusive community, but we kind of are just able to sit down in a room and kind of just talk about not only issues affecting like the Black community. We're able just to teach about different things. Like I remember, like there was this one PowerPoint about just Africa and how like people perceive Africa, and then how like Africa really isn't what people full on perceive it to really be. It is like some of it is a really developed nation, and it's just, I think that's just, it's really fun, especially like the open discussions. I was able to meet a lot of people and kind of throw myself into, you know, more into our community at CI, because I realized that there aren't very many of us in CI. So I think having BSU is a very nice place for, you know, you to connect with people who look like you. And I think that's a really important thing when you step onto a college campus for us.
Oh, for sure. And again, for any of the other student volunteers that we have today, if you ever want to chime in, feel free to do that. Again, this is an open discussion. So if there's anything that you want to add or share, just go ahead and cut me off. Don't, you know, I definitely want to hear your perspectives on that. And so on the topic of, you know, the importance of being involved with other students that you feel like you can connect with, that look like you, that maybe have some shared experiences as you, you know, it leads me to kind of think a little bit about your experiences as students here. Again, so we have a first year, we have a third year, we have a fourth year, we have a graduating students. So, you know, we have a very diverse population today. But for all of you so far, you know, in your experiences, in terms of like connecting, yes, it's great to connect with your student population. I think that's very important, but I think it's also important to connect with your staff and or faculty members as well too. Now, you know, are there any specific staff or faculty members at CSU Channel Islands that you felt like you've been able to connect with or help guide you throughout your time in college so far? And again, you know, it could be, you know, anyone someone that works here, someone that teaches here, or just someone that was part of a program, or anyone that you feel like you've connected with.
For me, my first 2 years, I mentioned this in the other panels that we've had, but I was very socially involved with CI, not really with the events and like um, campus events that they had per se, but more of like finding people on my own and like connecting with um, like peers mainly on my own. But there was one supervisor in the housing department. Her name was Natalie Somerville. And she has been with CI for the past like she was a graduating student from CI, and she like did her graduate program at CI, and then she worked for housing, and she recently moved on to a different journey, so she's no longer with the CI community anymore. But like she was also Black too, so she really connected with me and like made me feel welcomed when I was a first year, and like coming from the Bay Area was a hard transition for me, so she really helped me like find people on campus, and like she really wanted me to apply for housing and job, like to like apply for housing to work at housing, and like would try to build connections for me to like feel comfortable. And like I remember I would always like go up to the front housing desk and be like, is Brittany in, like is she there? And they're like, oh, do you have an appointment? I'm like, oh, like she told me I can just come by. And they're like, oh, and she's like, yeah, Taylor, I'm in the back, come on in. And I'm like,
That special privilege.
I was like, yes, I'm just gonna walk it. So then like it's just like knowing I guess like I can say that she was like my mentor my first 2 years, and I miss that, like having a person like that. But she definitely, along with side my RA that I had my freshman year, I still talk to her a ton. So the RA department, so the housing department does a really good job in general, like making sure that students feel welcome, students feel like they have a sense of home away from home type of feel, if you live on campus, because I also lived on campus for the past 3 years. So yeah, I would just say my RA and Brittany Somerville, who used to work for housing.
Cool, man.
Oh, so for me, I've connected mainly with faculty members and staff, because like for me, like I have Leo, I have Miss Tracy, I have Dr. Osiris, and I have another member whose name is Kem French. So I kind of really connected with So yeah, I've really had a lot of different mentors for me personally, and so I've enjoyed every single person who I've talked to. I've even had a few professors that I've like a couple of my political science professors who I've really connected with. I sat with them in their office hours. I just think that like CI is a great place for that because of our size, where like they can dedicate a little bit more time to like their students, and I think that's really great as well.
I think it's interesting, like when so I've been at Channel Islands for about 3 years now, but it's my first year in this role. I was previously in the admissions office. And so, and I love my experience there, but when I came over to this side, so our associate vice president, our AVP, Dr. Osiris, so that's my supervisor. So we're talking, head honcho here. And when I first met him, he was super personable. And, I kind of expected him to be so, I'm a new employee and I'm kind of coming in. And I was like, oh, yeah, he's nice. But then when I saw him interacting with students, I was really surprised when he just like, he's willing to just put his phone number out there. He's like, anytime you need me, anytime you want anything, like just call me, you can text me, like I'm always in touch. And I was like, dang, like, this guy has a lot of work to do, yet he's still able to just like, put his information out there to really connect and he's really passionate about working with students of color, specific. I mean, he cares about all students, but, he really puts in that extra effort with our students of color. And I think some of you have, had some good interactions with them, I'd say.
I have a couple of faculty that have really kind of just, I don't know, like really just changed my whole trajectory, like in life and everything. So the first person who made like the major influence for me was Dr. Cindy Wiles. And at the time she was like a math professor, but now she's moved up to this fancy administrative position, but she's still fantastic. She has like a talent for just being able to find students, make them feel comfortable, but then also have them realize that they have potential to be great in whatever they choose to, I guess, do in life. And then another math faculty that I've really has helped me along with everything is Dr. Benuelos, and she herself, like, looks at students in a way where she's able to like see them. So like in a classroom, especially in a math environment, a lot of students tend to like keep to themselves, but she's able to kind of break the mold and kind of design her class in a way that kind of gets students comfortable with like speaking out and try to problem solve and not make, you know, solving real life problems just an individual sort of a thing, but make it more of a group effort. In biology, I have two faculty who have like shaped me again in different ways. One of them is Dr. Becerra, and she is the director of the LSAMP program that we have here on campus, which is a program that's designed to prepare and uplift students, my historically underrepresented groups in STEM for like graduate school and professional degrees and all of that. And she legit just dedicates so much time and energy into her students, even though she has a full workload and a whole family. And during this whole like, you know, quarantine situation, she still makes sure to like tell students, you know, I'm still available to Zoom, talk to me, send me an email, and she will make time to meet with students, which is huge. Another faculty that has helped me is Dr. Alacon, and he is in the biology program. He's helped me so much when it comes to like just growing as like a researcher and a student. Again, he makes sure that I'm able to like, you know, get my work done and everything, but then also ask like how I am as a student, which is huge. Especially if you're just kind of like going through like, you know, your student kind of like schedule or whatever, and you're just focused on your classes, like it's important to have someone check up and make sure that you're good as a whole person. And then just the last person is Dr. Velman, and she's in chemistry, and she has dedicated her entire time here at CI to including and bringing in diverse scientists to come speak with the student population. And she is quick to call out any nonsense in classes, which is also huge because like I said, in class, we're all just kind of quiet. A lot of introverts just kind of keep to themselves. But anytime there's like any touch or flavor of like ignorance, she's so quick to shut that down in such an intelligent and graceful way, which like just shows students who may have felt some type of way about certain comments that she's there, she sees you, and she genuinely cares for you. So, I mean, those are all faculty, different departments and everything that have really kind of dedicated their time and energy into their students.
Sure, cool, thank you.
For me, it's a long list, but it's like it's mostly like for like professors, definitely all the ones that I've had in the English department. I don't know what it is, but even like in middle school and high school, I could really connect with my teachers that were English teachers. Some people would be like, oh, I don't like that teacher. I'd be like, really? We're like best friends. So it was just like, I don't know, but I really love the professors there. They're really helpful, and they take the time to get to know you, which is really nice, because I feel like maybe in bigger universities, it's kind of hard to get to know people, especially a professor, because there's so many students and they have so many other classes and so many students. So it's kind of like, I don't know, but I've gotten to a point where I see professors in the hallway and they like remember my name and I remember them, and we talk and we catch up and everything. And it's really nice because then you feel like, oh, like they remember me, especially when you need letter of recommendation. That's good too. Now, when we're getting to staff, these are 3 people that I'm like, oh, like you gotta do it 3 times. So Leo, Kristen Melendez, and then Kim French. Those 3, oh my goodness. I just loved seeing them, and if they weren't there, I'd be like, they're not here today. Especially Leo. He would never be there. Never be there. I had to email him. but
Leo,
he's really caring. He's really caring. He'll look out for you. If you need to talk to him about anything, he's there. So is it Kim. So is it Kristen. I love them all so much. My professors, everything. It really added to the experience of CSUCI.
No, for sure. You go ahead, Taylor. Yeah.
Especially when you have supervisors that are just so approachable. Like like my biggest thing I remember, because like me and Maya, our direct supervisor is Kristen, but the fact that all of our other supervisors that we work for are just so approachable and like really care about your well-being as not even just a student or as a employee, but as like a person. I think that's awesome. But yeah. Thanks.
I swear, like, I did not pay them. This is all their own accord. We did not plan this, but no, I mean, I think, I appreciate that. And again, I think at the end of the day, it's so great to hear your perspectives because y'all have very different perspectives, from being here, various amount of years. And to know that, a lot of the mentors that you've mentioned and faculty members and staff members that, are people of color. And I think that's really important as well, too, is that you have someone that, again, there's nothing wrong with having a mentor that isn't of color. But again, having that extra resources, I think sometimes is, people can take it for granted, maybe if they're used to having that. And then when you go to an institution, higher education, just in general as a platform where, the majority are not people of color. And to see that, on a smaller institution like this, I think that's really important to see that and to even experience it. I think a lot of times when I talk to students, it's not, when you're in college, it's not always about what you learn like that. That is important. That's part of it. But it's just as important, if not more so, it's who you know and who you meet while you're there and building your network. And again, at a school like CI, I mean, I think that's something that I've really enjoyed. I mean, I came from even going to school and working professionally as a staff member at an institution, another CSU where we had over 30,000 students. And again, there's pros and cons. There's nothing wrong about a larger institution. I loved my experience there. But at the same time, I didn't get as much, of that focus and attention from maybe that faculty staff that, I really see given here. And I think that's a big difference for sure that I really enjoyed about my experience and seeing the students, obviously hearing from your perspective. Y'all said that you enjoyed it too. So, I'll take your word for it. And so when it's all said and done after you graduate, I mean, it might sound like such a far ways away for someone who, like Cortland, it's your first year, but I know you had a ton of transfer credit, obviously. So, you're not that far away, but at the same time, being a first year, it's like, wow, like, graduation, that's, a handful of years away, maybe still. But by the time that you're done though, what are some of the things that, y'all have thought about of like, well, before I finish here, is there anything else that, I wanted to do that didn't get to come back and accomplish?
Oh, like things that like we not regrets, but wish we had more times to do.
Yeah, or still want to do, if you still have time left, it's what's something like I really want to do this.
Since I joined like the AVP ROI team, so retention, outreach, and inclusive student services, so the services that we provide and programs that we have, like I joined that team and like applied for on-campus jobs my end of sophomore year going into my junior year, so ready for that job for junior year. I don't think that was like a terrible idea because working on campus you need to find a balance in being a student and working. So like
Sure.
It was terrible that like I did it like late, but like I wish I did have sophomore year to be working and like doing that because I really like in high school I was really a person that like did 10 million things at once. And like when I moved to college and like I didn't have anything, I was like, what am I doing? Like I was really and I wish I got more involved on campus quicker. So, and I know that there's so many more programs now that are provided for people of color. So I'm really happy with that. I just hope that when this whole shelter in place and like we can have the opportunities to go back, like I want to be more inclusive with like giving back with those programs and more than I was this semester or this past semester or this past year. I definitely want to still find another mentor. I think that's mainly my biggest one is finding another mentor because the fact that I am in my junior year, entering my senior year, and I am applying for grad schools in September is kind of scary for me. Honestly, it's like one of my biggest scares because like I'm at home now and that was my whole plan for this semester or like and next semester. So like the fact that like things are kind of so different now, like I'm kind of lost in a way. So like I just wish that I had more time to do that, and I wish that we were at school, so I can like use other connections that I have to get to other people.
For sure.
But yeah.
And never know what you have till it's gone. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
Very, very sound advice for that. So like, I think it's very underestimated that like a lot of students, like we do focus on getting like mentors that kind of been where or have what we want to get, like, PhDs or masters. I cannot stress this enough, but finding like peer mentors, whether they're applying for graduate programs the same time as you or have went through the application process, cough, cough, me, it's very, very important to like have Yeah. I
Rachel,
will gladly.
I will email you.
Yes, I will gladly. You don't even know. I'm trying to write a novel on this whole experience. So I will gladly give you all the information I possibly can. Yes, please do. Please do. Like spam email, whatever. But like along with your whole mentor, like, you know, like connection or community, I cannot stress it enough. You need to have your peer mentors because they're the ones that are going to get you through this, you know? And like it's very much underestimated. Have a mix, you know, and find out, ask the people who have been where you, or who are where you want to go, like, you know, what did they do? What would they have done differently? Your peer mentors, ask them, how are y'all doing? Are you stressing out as much as I am? The people who went through it, be like, okay, what did you learn through this process? And you will gain a wealth of information, sometimes more information than you need, but like, it's fine. It's fine. So like, please, by all means, like I have this information, I just need to share it. So yes.
Someone be emailing Rachel right after this.
Yes, please do. Please do.
Your inbox will be popping after this.
Please do, by all means.
To everyone.
I'm here to just answer all the questions, you know. But one thing that I really wish, and I want to stress this to whoever's watching, like I was planning, like before this whole thing happened, to reach out to like every like staff member and faculty that helped me get to where I was, because there was a lot of mental breakdowns. There was a lot of, I don't know what I'm doing. There's a lot of like, am I in the right field? Why am I doing this? And like taking the time, even if it's just an email, saying thank you, especially to your faculty like mentors, is like a huge thing because they're dealing with so much right now. And just kind of having them take a step back and realize like, oh, you know, the work that I did made an influence on someone's life, that's going to go so far. And some of them are going to, you know, respond differently. They may not straight up be like, oh, like, you know, thank you so much, I need to hear it. But from what I gather, just dealing with different personalities, like it's something that they need to hear. And it's like, if you really benefited from someone, it's a little scary sometimes to kind of go out there and like express to how you really feel to someone, but it's going to go such a long way. And like, you don't even know what the interaction is going to do for them, like behind the scenes. So that's something I would have wished I was able to do, like in person, meet up with everyone. But you know, Zoom is still a thing. So I'm going to try going that route, I guess.
Still got another month. Another month.
Yeah, a month. Yeah, time's going, but you know, we'll figure it out.
For sure. What about you, Cortland? As a first year student, you have not so many, but a handful of years still ahead of you. What's things that you know, wanted to do?
I just feel like there's so many. Like for me, one big thing, and I know it's hard because I'm a freshman, I really want to have a mentee, but I know I gotta wait probably because I mean, being a mentor to a freshman isn't going to really be helpful because we're in the same situation. But I really that's something I really want because I love, like I said, I love connecting with people and I love being able to show people what to do. But something else, and I guess it's really for my professional path, is I would love to have an internship, maybe with a law firm or something like that. Something I really, really want to do. But I know, like, that's what I love having mentors for, like, because they can help you with that. Like, some of them have had to do what you're doing, and I think that's really going to be helpful. And so that's just something I really want to do, is I want to have an internship and I want to have a mentee. I can't wait.
Always wanted that baby brother or sister, right?
Yes.
Okay, well, for me, it would be 3 things. So I want to join the club consistently. When I mean consistently, I want to join the club like that I go to every week. I get a little busy, then I'll be like, I just don't want to go, so then I never go. And I tried to stick with one last semester, and it just didn't work out. So I'm going to try to pick a good one, and I'm going to try to stick to it, and I'm going to tell myself, you got to go. I think that's going to be English club for me, because I feel like, obviously it's my major, but they do a lot more. They do a lot more creative things, and I feel like I get their emails and stuff all the time, but I've never been able to go to their club meetings, but I would really like to. Maybe something that's completely different, out of range to my major.
Look at
but,
that.
What happened?
We're going to look at that together.
Yes, we are!
Because I've been doing the same thing. See, because Dr. Osiris is our head supervisor, because we work for and stuff. For the people, for the viewers, and he's made sure for our 101s when we were coming into our first like week of school that he said like you need to join, like you have to join something, like of course you're working, you serve like different, you work for people promoting events and stuff, but like you need to join something for yourself. And I was like, you know what, I know, like I've been needing to, but I just like I'm so, and the thing about me, I'm so excited, and then I get excited and I'm like, I gotta go do this.
Right, you gotta get ready to go.
So like you get busy, and I've always wanted to do certain clubs. So yeah, Maya, I'm with you on that. We're gonna hold ourselves accountable.
Okay, we're gonna link up. We're gonna be like, no, sis, we gotta go today. It's at 6:30 or something.
Yeah.
Okay, that's gonna work for me. And another thing I need to work on, Taylor, you're going to be like, girl, yes. I need to work on going to work socials. So if you work for ROI AVP, or if you work for the MDC, in the future, anyone who's watching, there will be work socials every semester, and it's super fun. Like, it looks fun. I never been to one, but it looks super fun. But I was just always busy at the time, and I was unable to go. But I'm going to make a point to go next year.
Yeah, I'll hold you accountable for that.
To all the socials.
Work
For
socials.
sure. I'm going to, for
Yeah.
sure.
Because I went to
With
one.
the help of Taylor.
I can't even know because I didn't even go to all the different. I went to one, and it was fun. And the thing about work is also is you really get to know your coworkers and your supervisors on a personal level. So just not like outside the office, outside like the labels and everything, like you get to know them as people. And like I remember like the last social that I went to, like me and one of my supervisors and my coworkers, we did a whole TikTok that I love.
I've seen that.
Where can they find that if they want to look that up?
Find my okay. First of all, I'll put the MDC's TikTok because we're doing a lot of projects for TikTok for the MDC. So I will put that in this chat right now. And
what's the MDC? What's the MDC?
The MDC. It's at MDC _ CSUCI. And we have challenges going on, or about to have challenges going on. Or we have one right now, but the deadline is today. But we have one. Have one every week, and it's challenges between students, peers, and other campus like what are they called? Like
partners.
Yeah, partners. So that's gonna blow up. I'm super excited for that. We have a whole TikTok team to make sure
viral.
We're gonna go viral. Quarantine's about to be fun with the TikTok. So yes.
I promise you they do other work too other than just preparing for this. I'm really glad that Taylor's so passionate about this.
This is all for you guys. A lot of me too. I like them, but this is all.
You've referenced the MDC a couple times. What is the multicultural? I guess I said there, but tell us a little bit more about the MDC and what it is, what it stands for, and what they do there.
Yeah, so the MDC is one of the programs that we have underneath the Retention Outreach and Inclusive Student Services. So the Multicultural Dream Center is what it is called. And it provides services specifically for students of color. So for instance, we have one of our programs is like for undocumented students. So making sure that they're getting the rights, the needs that they're getting, the counseling that they're getting, and it's a very private thing. Not other people will know about it, and we have a whole person that comes in that helps those students alongside a pro staff member of the MDC. So that's one of the programs that we have. So collaborative programs to just make sure that us as students of color are getting the support that we need as if any other student. And we do supply services for all students though. Like, don't think that it's just people of color. It's for all students. We have printing in the MDC. We serve cultural events every single month. So for instance, like the month of February is Black History Month. We have a whole week, or that whole month, it will be decorated in Black history, historical facts around the space, our space. It will have banners. We really go out, student assistants really put out decorations and ideas, and pro staff really give us those ideas collaboratively to make sure the space looks like such. We have a social for that event every month, having food there, having collaborative activities. So we really do try in the MDC to supply needs and have collaborative activities for our students and to make sure it just feels welcome. It's another hangout spot. So if you're in between classes and you're a commuter, you can hang out there, do your homework. It's quiet. You can print there up to 10 pages. So we have good services along with the computer lab. Computer lab.
Shout out.
Computer lab.
Well, my favorite part about the MDC is that two things. One is that's where my office is. And the second is we have the massage chairs too. Cortland, I know I've seen you on the massage chairs a little bit. Tell me about what is that? How much does it cost to use? What's that all about?
It's free 99 is what I like to say.
What?
It's free 99. Yeah, you know. But in school, you get to sit in it for 20 minutes. You get to forget about all your worries for those nice 20 minutes. You get to lay back, enjoy a nice massage. It's like one of my favorite things. The only bad part I would say is that you can only use it once a day. You can. So you got to go strategically find all the other ones.
That's what I was going to say. You got to go look for the other.
You gotta go.
Other one.
Exactly. You got to go to the other ones so that you can get a little bit more than 20 minutes just to forget about all your problems and just enjoy a nice massage. I want one day.
You know what? I mean, it's literally right in front of my office. My door faces the one in the Multicultural Dream Center. And let me just say, I feel like I've seen you there on more than one occasion a day, but
What? Never.
No, just kidding. No, but I mean, even if you did, though, I'm sure it'll be fine. I mean, that's what's cool about our campus too, is that like there's opportunity for you to, take advantage of that stuff. Even if you go more than once, like, everyone at the MDC, is super nice. I don't think they're ever gonna have a complaint. Like, didn't you come in here earlier, sir? I think it'll be fine. But no, cool. Thanks for sharing. So as we're wrapping up here in our last kind of 10 to 15 minutes here on our session, I do kind of want to open it up and just allow you all kind of freestyle whatever topics that you had. I'll just kind of throw something out there if you all want to kind of run with it. What's one piece of advice that you would give a incoming CI student, whether they're a freshman or whether they're a transfer? It doesn't really matter. What's something you think that would be useful that you could share?
I would say ask all the questions you possibly can. Ask everyone from faculty to peers. And I mean, it's kind of scary, especially if you're more of like an introverted person, to like go out of your shell and ask questions. I mean, you'll be able to really weed out people who you would want to incorporate in your community, and you'll be able to see, oh, this person actually is helpful. And like, I don't know, kind of like see who you would want to like have within your circle, someone who like kind of guards all their information. You just know, that person's not for you. But then CI is a beautiful place where there's this community of students that like are willing to give you all the information they possibly can. Sometimes it's overwhelming, but like it's going to help you in the long run, and then just kind of pay it forward. So like if you come across someone who doesn't know, things that you just found out about, just give all that information along. And honestly, me just asking questions and kind of walking around campus has really led me to places that like I never thought would have happened. So just let your curiosity, just see where it takes you. That's what I'm trying to say.
And for me, I would say definitely make connections, like not just professional ones, but even just among your own like peers, is make connections. Because for me, it's led me to places that I find is awesome. Like because you honestly start to find out things and you're like, whoa, like I would have had no idea about that if it wasn't for you to introduce it to me. And it definitely when it comes to students too, because I feel like you do need someone who knows exactly what you're going through. Like, yeah, sure, the staff members have gone through school and everything, but they're not going through it with you right now, like as if a peer, like someone who's literally like in the same class with you. So that's why I think, like, maybe going out of your way and introducing yourself to new people is definitely a really good way to go about it.
I agree a lot with what Cortland's saying. Two things. One, when he was talking about gaining connections, for anyone that's watching, future students, if you're in your first year, everyone's in the same boat. So in your classes, really try to find like one or two people that you can be like, hey, I missed that homework. Hey, like, I don't know what's going on. Can you send me like what your notes look like? Can we compare notes? Like, I think I feel like that's a quality that is really going to help you going into college because you're more on your own, but our professors do a lot, are so approachable, especially with our smaller class sizes, but it's really good to connect with your peers in class because especially if you're getting into your sophomore year, you're deciding what you want, or like even your freshman year, you're deciding what you want to do and like what your major is going to be. Really, those people that you have in these classes will probably be with you in your journey of going higher up with your education, your higher level classes. So you might bump into them again. So like really like finding those group of people that within your major is really important. Also, oh yes, I remember. My brother is a incoming freshman into college, so I see him going through this process, and I feel like something that I think is really important as of like if we're being present in this time, I feel like really connecting with the people that are in these type of chat rooms at CI or like are providing Zooms and stuff is really important because you can build connections from that. And I know that like we don't know what fall looks like, we don't know what next week or next month looks like, if we're being realistic. And really connecting with these people now like is going to be beneficial. And like say if we are online, not saying we are, but saying if we are online, like I can only, I'm thinking as in my brother, I couldn't imagine having my first year of college just online.
Yeah.
Really, that like I know that we'll provide emails here and like other places too, but really dialing in on these people that really want to give you like help you and give you strength during this time is really important. I feel like for anybody that's coming into a new atmosphere in a new space that's unfamiliar.
So for me, I would say to try new things. I know for me that in the beginning it was a little bit difficult because I was really shy, but I feel like if you try new things, you know, you'll reach new shores. That's what my dad always told me growing up. And I feel like that's really true. Like you'll never know if you like something or if you're interested in something or if you don't like something until you try it. So I feel like if you open up your mind and your horizons to CSUCI and just the world in general, then you'll become more enriched in the information that you obtain and also what you learn and how you feel about yourself, learn about others. It would be just a really good experience. And also trust your intuition when it comes to classes, people, etc. If you feel in some type of shift that's really good and not so good, you need to trust that. Trust the energies that you're obtaining. Be like, okay. And, try new things. I tried a new thing too. And I wanted to get published at the school's Island Fox. So basically what the Island Fox is, if you're an artistic person, as in you write poetry, you write short stories, you also take photography, you paint, draw, etc. You could submit your work in. They do it every spring. It's usually in April that they have a ceremony, but obviously they won't have one this year. But they have a little ceremony. If you get into the book, they publish it and they have a little ceremony, like I said. But you could submit your work. And this semester, they allowed as many submissions as you would like to submit. So you wouldn't get everything published in there that you submitted, but you have more chances depending on how many submissions that you email them to. And we also have something similar. I remember in fall 2019 for like people that are art majors, they had like this art fashion show, and they had like they created things out of denim. And it was actually really cool. And they had a whole thing where you could go and actually purchase it. And you could have your whole work on display for other people to purchase or look at or anything. And I feel like that's really cool because you wouldn't really suspect that we would have something like that because we're a small university. But they have a lot of things that celebrate students and their work. So that's another thing that's really nice that I just wanted to kind of plug in. I'm published in it this year, so be on the lookout.
That's cool. I mean, I think all that advice that you give is so cool because it's not something that's just like CI specific, right? I It doesn't matter what school you're going to be going to, whether you're going to take a couple of years maybe at community college and then you want to transfer, or you want to come straight here, you want to go straight to another school. I mean, that's stuff that, those are life things that are going to be important for you anywhere, especially if you're going into education. So really want to thank you all for sharing your perspectives and all that. I'm sure that some of the viewers who are watching this, might feel, connected to some of y'all in a sense like, oh, I want to know a little bit more about like the Island Fox, or I want to know a little bit more about like, the STEM majors and those clubs and organizations and stuff. And so I know, I think I tested this earlier when we recorded our last session. Unfortunately, I don't think it saves the chat, at least unless I'm missing an option. But if y'all are comfortable with it, is it okay for them to reach you through your CSU Channel Islands email addresses?
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
Okay, cool. And then I could share real quick my screen because it'll record this, I believe, how to find it. And so if you're a student or a prospective student that's thinking about coming to CI, so all you have to do is that you can go onto our main Channel Islands website, as you can see right here, csuci.edu. And then you click on directory right here. And under directory, I'll just use my own name as an example. You can type in Sun, and then my name will pop up right here. It's my long title, and it should have my contact information right here. So email address or phone number. So you can definitely contact me if you have any other questions. If you want to reach out to any of the other students, you can always look them up on the campus directory right there. So that said, thank you all for listening today. We hope to see you on our campus, and hopefully you got some questions asked or answered. If you have questions you want to ask, definitely reach out. So thank you, and have a good rest of your day. Stay safe out there.
Thank you.